Hello everyone, today we're going to be reacting to Motown Noah. I've literally binge watched like 5 or 6 of his videos today. This guy is very knowledgeable about the NBA. He's super entertaining, goes off on random different topics. He's similar to me, clearly Motown Noah took a lot of inspiration from me and he copied a lot of the things I do. So a lot of stuff I do. So, yeah, it's really cool to see Motown Noah gain a bunch of subscribers. He clearly looked up to me. So, but on a for real note, this guy is super entertaining. I watched a bunch of his videos. He released a new video today talking about the mental health with the NBA and the players and how we need to value them as people. Wicked great video. This guy is super entertaining. Go subscribe to his channel, link in the description. He's getting a shout out from someone who's at 200 plus subscribers. He's at like 30,000 something, but wicked entertaining. Let's just get right into it. I'm going on a rant. Don't need 50 million on your bench. Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. Just this guy.
Be correlated to a lot of things in life, but I think more than anything else in the world, I think you can look directly at music. Looking at you, music, or you.
See, okay, we're talking about the NBA, and he starts off with music. This is why I love this guy. I found him out today. I love this guy. I had to follow him on Twitter. I love this guy.
There you are. Hi, music. Hello, music. You look like basketball. So the reason that I think that they're so similar is because if you think of any song in any genre, compositionally or lyrically or structurally, in any genre, they're generally going to look the same, spanning decades, right?
That's fair, yeah.
It's going to take revolution after revolution, spinning those same tracks, getting them all pressed to vinyl before something magical happens. A culmination of a bunch of.
Where are you going with this, Noah?
Like, think of rap, for example.
Okay.
So the evolution of hip hop was like funk and electronic and R&B,
gotcha.
and spoken word, and all these different things into a little pot. And what's in this little pot? What is this thing?
Okay.
Oh, it's rap. Wow, that's pretty cool. What should we do with this? We should use it forever? Awesome. Let's use that. That was really fun. I like that. Basketball. That happens all the time. Happens all the time in basketball. Sometimes it's going to take 10 to 15 years, but there's going to be that generational talent who completely shifts to the paradigm of basketball.
Fair. And is he going to go with the
is
Curry?
Going to change before our very eyes.
Shooting a bunch of three-pointers?
Because of one player. Now, of course, this is super rare, and it's why it only happens every 10 to 15 years. And the player that we're going to be talking about today is not directly responsible for that, but they do fit the blueprint perfectly.
So pretty much
so when one player leads the charge, and enough teams have to follow suit because they think, wow, that really works. We should do what that player and what that team is doing.
Warriors, Rockets, small ball,
eventually you're going to have said evolution. So today, the game of basketball has followed suit with the likes of gender and sexuality, and it's increased its fluidity over the last few years. Now,
see, that's what makes this guy so great. Like, he can tie in so many different topics outside and relate it to basketball. This guy is so funny. I love watching this guy. Like I said, I watch a bunch of his videos. I have not seen this one. This is one of his first couple of videos. He's wicked entertaining.
Decide to give this to is entirely up to you. You can say Steph, you can say the Warriors as a whole, you can say Daryl Morey and the Rockets, and you're probably on a better track right there. But ultimately, positions don't matter anymore. And if you're going to sit there and you're going to tell me that they matter...
I thought he was going to make it more about, like, three-pointers, how that changed the game. I mean, I guess three-pointers change the game equals positionless basketball. Yeah.
Gross.
What?
Because they don't. And I think that, honestly... What is this? What is that? Is that a little... What's a hole? That is simply no good.
See, we're talking about basketball.
Guys getting thrown into some wonky lineups, generally tasked with defending anywhere between 1 through 5, because that's where the game is at today. More often than not, I also feel like that they're going to be defensive specialists while not being completely incapable offensively. Defense is what they're going to specialize in.
Okay.
So because of that, what player does every championship team need this year? If you're a contender...
Are we talking about, like, 3-and-D guys, or, like...
It's Chris Kaman.
Chris Kaman. He fits the mold. Yeah, he can play. He can guard 1 through 5. Chris Kaman, he a beast.
Bruce Brown. Now, as a Pistons
Bruce
fan,
Brown.
I need to tell you that we have...
See, bro, this is why I love it. He's making a video about Bruce Brown. Every championship team needs him. You're making a video talking about Bruce Brown. This is awesome. This is like his second or third video. He's a Pistons fan, by the way, so, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. Hey, I can't even really say something. Coming from a Knicks fan, we do that all the time. We hype up one... Frank Ntilikina, perfect example.
been missed on players or actually drafted the right players and then have completely given up on them, like Chris Middleton
Yeah.
or Spencer Dinwiddie.
I always
Or
forget
sometimes
Spencer
we'll actually
Dinwiddie
hit
played
these
on the
guys and then we
Pistons.
just inexplicably give up on them. But in
I always
Bruce's
forget
case, I
that.
think it's really interesting because when
I
we
know
traded
Chris
him to
Middleton.
Brooklyn, the one thing that you knew about, well, we need to go back further. Up and down in the G League in his first year after being a second-round pick, playing under Jim Larinaga in Miami. Played a lot of point guard in college. Then he comes to the...
I actually didn't know that Bruce Brown played a lot of point guard in college. I had no clue what college he went to. I knew he was a second-round pick, but I didn't know he actually played point guard in college. Because I know he was a shooting guard. That's why, like, he came into the NBA shooting guard.
Into a shooting guard position.
Yeah.
And you notice one thing about him. Not entirely capable offensively, but the tools are certainly there. It's his defense, though, that really gets you excited. So after his first year,
The way he says that, I mean, bro, whatever. Never mind.
Vegas, okay? It's the Summer League. And we put Bruce at the point guard, and he put up the second triple-double in the history of the Summer League, which was technically actually the third one that ever happened. He was just the second player to do it. Bruce Brown was awesome in the Summer League, and we were like, wait,
I got what he's saying. It took me a second to realize what he's saying.
Brown is a thing? You go into that regular season, and Casey was often reluctant to actually put him in that position, but whenever he was given minutes at the point, he emerged as a really interesting playmaker, a really dynamic off-ball threat, and obviously more than anything in the world, a defensive specialist, okay?
I used to watch Funky Diabetic a lot. I do watch him, just not as much as I used to, and he was super hyped up about Bruce Brown. He talked about Bruce Brown, loves Bruce Brown, playmaker, blah, blah. So I didn't know that. I don't watch Funky Diabetic as much as I should, because I kind of got out of the NBA. But I've been watching this guy a lot today, and we're trying to get back into the NBA. This guy's awesome.
I remember very vividly he locked down Kyrie, James Harden, and Trae Young all in the span of a month. Now, of course, that goes with some one-on-one, specifically one-on-one on-ball defense. I think Kyrie actually ended up with a triple-double in the game that I'm referencing. But when Bruce was guarding him specifically, I kept switching off of him for this very reason. It was free. It was free every single time.
Yeah.
Offensively, you saw his game improve a lot. He was attacking the rim pretty confidently. He really liked that three ball a lot from the corner. That proved to be a very high percentage shot for him. And then inexplicably, he was traded.
I really don't know enough about Bruce Brown at all, so that's why I'm actually trying to soak this in. I don't know anything about Bruce Brown. I didn't know he played for Miami, he played point guard. I didn't know he's a shooting guard, he played for the Pistons, and now he's on the Nets. Yeah, I know he's like 6'5". I know he's a good defender. That's all I know about Bruce Brown.
To Brooklyn. Now, the reason I was okay with this was because we learned something about Bruce, is that Detroit had accumulated so many players on a roster where it was like all these young guys would be really good role players, but you're asking them to do things that Donovan Mitchell would have to do, and that's just not going to fly. What everybody knew about Bruce Brown, if you were a Pistons fan, was that he was a pest defensively. Offensively, he was a fun little playmaker. He was really creative with the ball, great cutter. He was shifty. There was something there.
I did know he was a decent playmaker. Not as much as all these Pistons fans come out and say. I did know he was a solid defender, though, and a solid playmaker.
But ultimately, we realized that he was sort of the Tony Allen type, right? This guy who is so fluid, he kind of makes up his own position. But it's not what you need on a rebuilding team. You know where you do need that, though? A contender. Because that is a glue guy that I want going to war for me in a 7-game series. That is a guy...
He's a hustle player. Solid playmaker. He hustles. He's one of those guys, bro. Everyone wants one of those guys on a championship team.
You look at Game 3 against Milwaukee, if you're Brooklyn, and you look at the way that Brook Lopez in drop coverage is defending Bruce Brown every time he...
I love how he paces around in his room talking. I love that. It's literally what I do. Like, I can relate to that guy like crazy. He just paces back and forth and talking. I'm the same person. I do the same thing. I talk better if I pace back and forth, in fact.
Patented floater that he loves so much. And what happened? He was outscoring Milwaukee for a majority of that second quarter. But when you have a guy...
I never really watched the Bucks Nets series. I watched a few games, watched highlights. I never really... You guys know I dove into the conference finals.
Whose position is often... It's difficult to articulate what exactly he's doing out there, except... If I had to quantify it, everything. Jumping into...
He just looked like a caveman. Noah looked like a caveman right there.
Lanes, really shifty on his feet, super athletic on both ends of the floor, incredibly agile. Going to out-hustle pretty much 95% of the league, unless your name is like Bobby Portis. Star players are ultimately just as valuable as the role players on a contending team. If you're going to win a championship, you need 10 to 11 guys to show up for a 7.
Facts, and that's what I was saying about the Warriors. They need to fill up the roster. They need to get that star with Pascal Siakam or whatever, whoever they end up getting, Kawhi Leonard maybe, and they need to fill out the roster. Gosh, dude, I'm basically an NBA expert at this point. Gosh.
I'm serious. And if one of those guys can be anything but a liability on both ends of the floor, who I can need to play somewhere between 15 to 25 minutes a game, yeah, I want that on my basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
If I can play the role of an agitator and I can go on offense, no one's going to pay attention to me because it's not really what I'm known for, that's free.
Just like that, that's the video. That's how he ends the video. That's freaking awesome. I love Noah. I've been watching tons of his videos today. I'm going to binge watch all of his videos. He doesn't have many videos. He started uploading right around a month ago. And he's at almost 40,000 subscribers. He's been getting crazy views. He's super entertaining. This guy's going to be big, I'm telling you. This guy's going to be a big content creator when it comes to NBA basketball real soon. He's growing like crazy. Motown, Noah, if you're watching this, I love you. Have a great day, everyone.